he has his chance. Like every other soldier on Omaha Beach, black or white, Dabney's mission now is to survive. There wasn't any segregation there. Harold Baumgarten is thrown straight into the carnage.
They were men with guts hanging out of their wounds and body parts lying along their path.
Some men were simply overwhelmed by the hell they met. By 9 a.m., almost 5,000 men are ashore. There are more than 2,000 U.S. casualties on Omaha Beach alone. William Dabney survives. He is later awarded the Legion of Honor. Operation Overlord is a logistical miracle, but the cost is staggering. Nearly 126,000 Americans are killed, wounded, or go missing during the Battle of Normandy. Harold Baumgarten is hit 5 times. After losing blood for over 30 hours, Baumgarten is brought back from the dead by a plasma transfusion, then injections of penicillin and morphine. The very supplies America has mass-produced to keep its men alive. D-Day is key to Hitler's defeat. Within a month, the Allies have landed more than 877,000 troops, 112,000 vehicles, and 573,000 tons of supplies. U.S. bombing destroys German oil reserves and transportation. American machinery and men powers the drive to Berlin and victory in Europe. But men are still dying fighting the Japanese. America turns to technology once again. A weapon to end the war. A weapon to change the world. The Alamogordo Desert, New Mexico. July 16, 1945, 5:27 a.m. In 3 minutes, American technology will change the world forever. Robert Oppenheimer, the theoretical physicist who loves poetry as much as science. The FBI would track his every move, worried that he's a communist. Yet Oppenheimer leads the biggest scientific test in history. The top-secret Manhattan Project. Theoretically, fission physics could enable enormous amounts of explosive energy to be released from a single device, the atomic bomb. The bomb is the most technologically advanced weapon in the world, but nobody is sure whether it will work.
Even many of the people who worked on the bomb itself were skeptical that the bomb would actually work. No one had ever done anything like this.
The use of bombing escalates on all sides in World War II. Whole cities of civilians are being hit. Now the U.S. military hope a single bomb can destroy an entire city.
Ricky
that kind of mass destruction. That was something new in the history of warfare. The atomic bombs put emphatic punctuation to that decision, but the decision was way before August of 1945.
If this test works, there are more atomic bombs to use on the Japanese in hopes of ending the war. Deputy Commanding General of the Manhattan Project, Thomas Farrell, watches Oppenheimer.
Dr. Oppenheimer grew tenser as the last seconds ticked off. He scarcely breathed. He stared directly ahead.
11, 10, 8, 7, The temperature generated at the center of the explosion is 10,000 times greater than the surface of the sun. The heat turns the desert sand to glass. The explosion is more massive than even Oppenheimer expects.
When it went off in the New Mexico Dome, that first atomic bomb, we thought of Alfred Nobel and his hope, his vain hope that dynamite would put an end to wars.
Even the scientists themselves recognize the gravity of that moment. And of course, Oppenheimer famously said, "I become death, the destroyer of worlds," quoting the Bhagavad Gita, and recognizing that man had really reached a turning point where the power available to us was almost limitless.
When atomic bombs are dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, an estimated 120,000 people die instantly. In the days, months, and years that follow, up to 80,000 more die slowly. A day after the second bomb is dropped, the Japanese surrender. America's technical innovation is decisive in winning the bloodiest war in history. Having survived the Depression and World War II, the greatest generation comes home.
They'd been through it all, and they wanted one thing. They wanted a better life for their families than they had. And that's what they dedicated themselves to.
America's distance from battle leaves its infrastructure